Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, it's unsolicited advice. Take it or leave it. Hey, y'all. So, Escape came out with a song back in the day called Understanding. You know? And, of course, in the chorus, they said, what I need from you is understanding. So we can communicate. And understanding is a thing that carries a lot of weight. We don't use it as much, but it's a great way to learn about somebody and to understand why they, how they tick, why they do what they do. Because you might like have a aha moment where it's like, oh, okay, I understand now. But of course, with social media and how everything goes now, we're quick to judge people a lot. We judge people very, very harshly. We don't give them a minute or a second. The moment something go down, we own it. We own their ass. We own it. And I think that we got to do a better job of understanding each other. And one of the ways that I noticed that we judge is we definitely judge. Probably the number one is we judge people's appearance. We judge their weight. We judge hairstyles. We judge what they wear, their facial features, their bodies, things like that. But we definitely judge people's appearance. I don't know why we care, but we do. And we all do. Even if we were just doing it in a funny way, we just so happen to see somebody and we make a joke. But judging someone's appearance, it can have a lasting effect on them. It can cause them to make adjustments to their appearance that is not healthy. The BBLs, liposuction, boob jobs, lip injections, whatever. Mostly women, though. If we're clarifying it, mostly women. When it comes to appearances, I think they get judged the most. For guys, I think guys, we can let it slide off our backs. A lot of times our focus is probably on something else, but for women, a lot of times it's everything. Their appearance, how they look. The last thing they want is somebody judging them. If people will get on social media and they will eat you up if they don't like your appearance or they don't approve of it. They will make you not want to come out of the house. I think that's just so judgmental. You have to learn, you have to understand why a person wants to dress a certain way or why they chose their hairstyle or why they chose to, maybe wear their makeup a certain way. Shouldn't really matter. The way we should understand is that that's their decision. That's how they want to live. That's what makes them happy. Another way we judge is social behavior. Now, we judge people on how they interact with others. We judge people on the volume of their voice, their table manners, even public displays of affection. There's been plenty of times I've been out and about and I've seen people hugging and caressing on each other, and I'll be like, ew. But, I shouldn't be judgmental. Maybe I'm mad because I ain't hugging, and kissing on somebody at that time. We judge people's interaction with others. Oh, I don't like how they was talking to you. I don't like how y'all was standing towards each other. You don't know why. You just immediately judge instead of just understanding, look how they're interacting with each other. I wonder why. I noticed that y'all interact with each other in a certain way. Why is that? Oh, okay. That's good to know. Sometimes it's just that simple. Volume of somebody's voice. Some people's voice carry. So you can judge somebody and not know that, hey, they can't control that. With me, I have a softer tone, so sometimes people be like, "Why don't you speak up?" And they don't know my voice can get loud. It can carry. It adds a lot of boom to it when I want it. But that's just me. Like, I like to speak soft because why the fuck not? Another way we judge people is their personal habits. But we have to learn. We have to understand why. Some people smoke. I don't like that you smoke. Well, why don't you understand why they smoke? Maybe some people use it because it helps them keep from stressing, or maybe they just it helps them stay calm. They might need that smoke. It might control their temper. Some people judge you on drinking. Now, yeah, you shouldn't abuse smoking and drinking, but to each his own. If that person wants to have a drink, that's them. Maybe that's just the way they like to unwind. It's a better way, understand why. Sometimes it don't matter, but instead of judging them, just try to understand why. Maybe the food that they eat. You like that? You like meat? I don't eat meat. Okay. Or maybe, you might judge somebody that's vegan. Why don't you eat meat? Maybe just understand why, take the time to sit down and talk to them, understand their lifestyle. Understand why they chose to be vegans. Understand why this person prefers bacon. Whatever. Things like that. It really don't matter. Hygiene practices, people's hygiene, we judge that. We definitely judge that a lot. Now, hygiene practices, that's a touchy subject, but sometimes we should understand everybody's culture is different. Whether you're Chinese and somebody might smell something that they're not used to smelling, but they don't know that you drink a lot of tea. So in their mind's like, oh, it's stinking here. It's like, no, it's just, I drink a lot of natural herbal tea. With Indians, they use a lot of spices. And I don't think that they believe in using soap. So they have a certain smell to them. So sometimes we'll judge them. And it's like, no, you have to understand that's their culture. That's how they live. They might not smell it, but since we're not used to smelling a certain thing that they're used to smelling, we feel offended, like, oh, no, But that's their culture. Africans as well. Rastafarians. Every culture is different. One of the big things right now, well, tells this oldest time that we judge people on instead of understanding his political views, religious beliefs, and stances on social issues. This one right here is definitely one that we have to learn to understand and not judge. Because if you just sit down and listen, like, oh, okay, well, that's why that person chooses to believe this way. Or that's this person's views on this. Oh, okay. It's not necessarily them arguing with you. They're just telling you why they choose it. And we have to learn to understand them and not judge. Financial status. This one is such a ridiculous one, but we got to talk about it because, this is one of those things, we try to say that if somebody has lack of funds or no wealth, that, that they're lame. The word that a lot of girls like to use is brokey. They'll yell out brokey, and then it's like, come on now. We're obsessed with people's financial status. We like to judge people if they don't have certain things instead of understanding, like, well, maybe that person is saving their money, or maybe this person has this going on or that going on. You got to understand everybody's not going to be in the same tax bracket. And if you're smart about money, you have to know the more money you make, it just levels itself out. You don't necessarily be way up here. No, it's just more problems, more taxes, more everything. All you're doing is leveling yourself out. So it don't even matter if you have a bunch of money. You're going to break even every time, no matter how much money you make or you accumulate. Another way that we judge and we don't understand, but we rather judge as people's lifestyle choices. Like I said, their gender roles, if they want to switch gender roles, if they want to choose a certain career path that we didn't choose for them, their hobbies. A big one nowadays is the travel habits. Everybody all of a sudden loves to travel. God, that's probably the craziest one that I keep hearing. The only reason why people say that they love to travel is because they see it on social media a lot. So now all of a sudden that's their goal. And it goes back to what I said earlier in one of my videos, where we conform to everybody else. The only reason why you travel, and I've said this before, the only reason why you travel is because you don't like where you're at. Knowing good and well, you got to come right back to it. But that's me judging, right? That's me judging. But the other side of understanding that is that is a lifestyle choice. That person chose to say, you know what, from here on out, I'm going to start traveling. I'm going to see the world. I want to be more cultured. There's got to be more out there. So growth is understanding that. Judging is saying, oh, I can't stand it. And all you talk about is traveling. Hey, that's their lifestyle choice. Another hot button topic where people judge and they don't learn to understand is parenting. Parenting styles or parenting skills. Everybody's parenting skills are different. Everybody's disciplinary methods are different. And we want to judge people if they don't do it the way we do it. But every kid is different. You have a lot of kids now that are being diagnosed with autism. So you sitting there beating on your kid every day, not knowing that they may be going through something mental, it is bad parenting. Now, I understand that the kid is bad and you got to discipline them and stuff. But yeah, we have to understand that everybody's method of parenting is different. And it's not our job to parent the world. Sometimes it's just best to stay out of it. Intelligence level. People love to insult your intelligence, right? And one way that they insult your intelligence is by judging you, or judging your intelligence, or assuming that you don't know more than them, or assuming that you're not as smart as they are. Sometimes if you just, let a person cook, you'll understand that they got all the ingredients. But, to sit and judge somebody's intelligence says more about you than it does them, because you're in a rush to try to prove to them and to everybody else that you're smarter when you may not be. Another way that we judge and we don't understand is physical abilities. So, me, myself, I'm not, I'm what you would call a short king, meaning, I'm not of 6 foot. I'm under 6 foot. So, therefore, there's a lot of things I have to overcome. And for some reason, people think that your physical abilities are diluted because you're not over 6 foot. They think that you can't do the same thing a 6 foot man can do. I don't know why y'all judge me that way. Like, anybody that really knows me know that there's not much of a difference. I can do the same thing that they can do. But that's just a scenario of physical abilities. People will assume just because you look a certain way that you can't do certain things. People are very visibly shallow, aesthetically shallow, or visibly shallow. It's all about looks. It's stupid. But we all have to learn to understand. Those are just certain ways that people judge and don't understand. We have to learn to understand things, seek knowledge, ask questions, pay attention, observe. You get a lot more out of that than just assuming, just because you think you know it all. But it's just, my 2 cents, my unsolicited advice. But you can take it or leave it.